What's up, guys? Jay here, bringing you another idea for the idea log. This is idea number 2. This one is called The Power of Writing Shit Down. And it's so important, I even got it written on a pencil. So this idea basically, anytime I learn a lesson or a factoid or something interesting happens to me in a way that teaches me something, I write it down in a journal, okay? It can be just a few words, it can be a sentence, it can be a full-on journal entry. Generally, I do, it's a few sentences based on the idea. And this all came from me realizing that there are certain lessons in this world that I've repeated over and over and over again, like being late, for example. And I couldn't even quantify how many times I've been late before I realized that you need to start leaving early and budgeting time for accidents and, traffic and, needing to eat and all that sort of thing. Like, you just have to start, budgeting time for in case shit happens things. And it seems like you could have one bad experience and that lesson would be firmly planted in your mind. But I don't know about you, but every time I go to sleep, it feels like someone takes like the Etch-a-Sketch of my mind and shakes that shit up. And, I often have to learn the same lesson over and over and over again. So what I started doing was I started writing it down. If something, I thought was a lesson that I should know by now, I wrote it down. This first one's kind of funny. It's real simple. Brad Pitt doesn't slouch. So that might not do anything for you, but it does something for me. He's one of my heroes. And it's just about posture, really, and confidence. This guy, this hero of mine, like, he doesn't walk around like this. He doesn't talk to people like this. And sometimes I will do that. So every time I read this and reread this, I'm forced to be like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be, confident and have good posture. This next one is just kind of like a motivational tip that I picked up from my friend Sean. Remember that somewhere out there, someone is outperforming you. They are outperforming you, outworking you, outtraining you, and earning the things that you want. And then the next one I picked up from a book called An Actor Prepares. When you speak, don't make somebody. Force the other person to listen. Insinuate yourself upon them. Choose your words carefully, but be authentic, raw, real, passionate, and for God's sakes, put some effort into your speech. This one basically came from me realizing that, on certain tapes or certain things, I'm not having good diction. I'm not putting energy into my speech. I think we're all guilty of this from time to time. It actually takes energy to speak eloquently and with diction. So it's something whenever I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Again, speak with confidence. The key here is repetition. I read and reread these things all the time. If I'm, about to go somewhere, about to be in a meeting or something like that, I will go through these things. If I'm on the bicycle at the gym or something like that, I will go through these things. And every single time, it's like a connection to that moment when I learned that lesson. And it just reminds me of what I've been through and where I'm going. And that's basically it. Write that shit down, y'all. Making big Hollywood productions.